Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get those hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up weekdays. Catch us live, somebody. Let's go.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Good evening and good morning to every single one of y'all. And welcome to the Pascal Show. I'm here with some not so great news, y'all. I raced home. I'm in the middle of a very, very busy day today. I stopped everything, came back home really quick to give you guys this news because, you know, for a fact, we have been covering this quite a bit, and this really matters. This story matters, and the news that we have today is not great. I'm just going to give you guys that heads up. I mean, I know it's been out for a few hours now, and I'm sure some other people have talked about this and have been covering this. But of course, I wanted to give you guys this update because we have been following and watching this very, very closely in hopes to find some sort of justice for Shanquella Robinson. And unfortunately, we have some not so great news today. And I got to be honest. I'm saying, what in the HE double hockey sticks is going on here? What in the hell is going on here, y'all? So this is not so great news. This is not great news, and I'm angry. I'm angry, y'all. I'm angry, and I'm still trying to understand why. Why is this happening? What the hell is going on here? What the hell is going on here? So we got some things we got to get into, guys. I wish I could come to you guys with something happier. A happier topic, a happier situation, but I don't. And this broke a few hours ago while I was on the road, so I could not hop on and do a live with you guys or talk to you guys about this. And also, I wanted to find out what the hell's going on here, and yet I'm still confused. I still don't understand what's going on, so I don't know. And April Rochelle just said, it's more than that. It's WTF. OMG, SMH, SMDH, SMMFH, so many different ones. Okay, I'm a little shocked right now. I'm really, really shocked about this right now. But we got to get into it. I'm sorry. I don't want to dwell on it too much because most of you guys still don't know what's going on, and you guys don't want to know what the heck is going on aside from seeing what the title says down below, which is, or above, wherever you're watching this show, is still incredibly shocking to me. I am absolutely shook. I am shooketh right now. Okay? Have mercy. Man, oh man. Okay. So some housekeeping, guys, please hit that like button down below. Send it past 300 likes. If you can share this feed too so that everybody knows that I'm live right now, that would be greatly appreciated as well. This is breaking information, or, you know, it's been out for a couple hours, but breaking for me. Okay, and we need to go through this as a family because I'm still trying to understand what the heck is going on. So hit that like button down below. Do not forget to hit that subscribe button, okay? Definitely hit that notification bell. Hit it to make sure it's hit to all so that whenever I go live, you know when I go live, because obviously I wasn't supposed to be on at all for the rest of the day. I was not planning on it, but I ran home to give you this quick information before I run off to my next engagement, okay? So hit that subscribe button, hit that join button down below. Join the family if you can. That'd be greatly appreciated. Let's get into this. Man, I haven't said this in a while. This is really burning my cookies. And you might be wondering why you say that, Pascal. What's going on? Well, I'm just going to get straight to the nuts and bolts of it all right now. Here's some information about Shanquella that I don't think any of us, or about Shanquella's case that I don't think any of us were expecting it to turn out like this. So right now they're saying federal authorities say they are not pursuing any charges in Shanquella Robinson's Robinson's demise. Now, please, somebody out here. This is when I wish. This is when I wish we had people like Jennifer Coffindaffer that was able to hop on, but this was so last minute and this came out of the blue. I wasn't able to reach out and see if she can hop on and all that, okay? But I still want to know the reasoning behind why they decided not to pursue No Mo. Don't worry, we got a statement that was written that we over their decision and all that. So we are going to be looking in that too. Yes. Chelsea, hopefully I'm saying that right. But yeah, what? Exactly. I'm shocked. And yeah, Yuki, yeah. There's even video evidence, y'all. There's even video, like, you know what I'm saying? Video evidence of foul play, and the Cabo Six is walking free. Do you understand that? Everybody, my beautiful, brilliant fams, do you understand that the Cabo Six is walking free out here in these wilderness streets, free? Now, as far as in the States, I don't know what's going to go on with Mexico. They are, from last I checked, they are, from last I checked, unless we are hearing something different here in these articles, Mexico is still trying to get Dejanay for the crime she committed in Mexico. Last I checked. Unless that's brand new, unless there's a new change of events and change of situation here. This is mind-blowing. So we got a statement, okay, from, if I'm correct, the Department of Justice. Hold on, let me just pull that up. Yep, from the DOJ. We got the statement from them, which we are going to be looking at here very shortly. We even have, just so you can see the line of events that we have coming up here. This is the reason why we got to get through this pretty quickly, but we even have Shanquella's family's lawyer coming up and giving us the information in a press conference that just happened about an hour ago. Okay, so we got some very shocking information here that we all need to process as a family, because you know for a fact we have all, at least I have, we have been very passionately aggressive about keeping her name in all of our mouths and all of our minds, and trying to get justice for this young girl, this young woman, correction. And it looks like she's not going to get it at all. Because her body was embalmed? We're going to get into it. I need some Lord, powers that be, I need some positive news somewhere out here. Just like one for the week. I'd really love that. Okay. Or one of these stories to turn out where there's justice served, rightfully served. But I'm sorry for giving you guys this bad news, but here we go. Let's get into this. All right. So federal officials said Wednesday that they won't pursue any federal charges against the demise of Shanquella Robinson, the Charlotte native who passed away while vacationing. They took her life, okay? Unwillingly, her life was taken. How's that? While vacationing in Cabo last October with a group of people. You don't even need to call them friends no more. They just evil. We are going to be reading the statement from the DOJ in just a little bit, okay? Now, we already know all this information about her being an entrepreneur, what happened to her, etc. We already know about the video that circulated online, the viral video that we've all seen. So let's get down to this. The U.S. Attorney's offices of both the Middle and Western Districts of North Carolina and the FBI met with family of Shanquella on Wednesday morning to share findings in the federal investigation. Prosecutors said they have informed Robinson's family that there is not enough evidence to warrant a U.S. prosecution for any federal crimes. Let me repeat that one more time for all y'all in the nosebleed seats. Prosecutors, I'm highlighting it too so you guys can see it. In fact, let me blow this mug up so y'all can see that. You can't even avoid this. All right? Let me just get that here one more time. Prosecutors said they have informed Robinson's family that there's not enough evidence to warrant a U.S. prosecution for any federal crimes. You understand? There's not enough evidence. There is internal decapitation. There is the severing of her spinal cord. There are bruises on her body. The video itself, let's continue. This is what they said. As in every case under consideration for federal prosecution, the government must prove beyond a reasonable doubt that a federal crime was committed based on the results of the autopsy and after a careful deliberation and review of the investigative materials by both U.S. Attorney's Office, federal prosecutors informed Let me repeat that again. Based on the results of the autopsy and after a careful deliberation and review of the investigative materials, both by U.S. Attorney's Office, federal prosecutors informed Ms. Robinson's family today that the available evidence does not support a federal prosecution. And this is what the FBI and the U.S. Attorney offices said in a statement. Let me repeat that one more time because I know I messed that up. But I also do want to make sure that this is abundantly clear here, okay? Because I'm even reading it out loud to you guys, and I'm still trying to compute on how can they say this is beyond a reasonable doubt when there's actual physical evidence of foul play. Hold on. Let me do that one more time. This is part of the letter, which I'm sure we're going to be reading here in a second again, but we got to look at this again as a family. It says, as in every case under consideration for federal prosecution, the government must prove beyond reasonable doubt that a federal crime was committed. Based on the results of the autopsy, this is the part I think that's going to be very important to look at. Based on the results of the autopsy, and after a careful deliberation and review of the investigative materials by both U.S. attorneys' offices, federal prosecutors informed Ms. Robinson's family today that the available evidence does not support a federal prosecution. This is what the U.S. attorney offices and the FBI said in this mother-loving statement. And this is because of the results of the autopsy. And because of, they said, the review of the investigative materials. Somebody please make this make sense. An attorney representing the family said Wednesday that the autopsy performed by the medical examiner in Mecklenburg County was conducted after Robinson's body had been embalmed, and that it determined the cause of demise as undetermined rather than an M or homicide. So, an autopsy was performed in America, okay, by a medical examiner And then this is apparent according to what their attorney is saying, the attorney for the family. They're saying that because the body was embalmed, that it mucked up whatever they needed to find out. And now they're saying that that's why they were able to determine the cause of death at the new autopsy as that it was undetermined, and rather it being an M. Now, I just saw Nicole B say this, and I understand what you're saying, Nicole. You know, I got to use these code words. So A is not a federal crime, and the video only shows that. That's very, very true. But it does show that there was intent of something, that there was some sort of foul play, that the injuries that she received, that Shanquella did receive, were not self-inflicted. And I also want to say none of them of her injuries were inflicted from drinking too much alcohol. And shout out to my mods. Thank you guys so much for holding it down. Real talk. Okay. So, craziness, y'all. Craziness. Okay, so let's continue. Attorneys for the family have been pressing U.S. authorities to take action in the case, including with visits to federal offices in Washington, D.C. Mexican authorities have said they issued an arrest warrant for a suspect in this case, a woman, Robinson New. Dejanay. Let's not forget this. And this is the press conference, which we are going to be watching a little bit of it because we're not going to watch the whole thing. It's about 40 minutes long. And unfortunately, I don't have all that time today. So, one second, guys. Sorry. On Wednesday afternoon, Sue Ann Robinson, an attorney representing the Robinson family, no relation, said at a press conference that Mexican authorities have completed the requisite paperwork to extradite a suspect in the case. But it wasn't immediately clear if Mexican authorities have formally requested the extradition of a specific person. Dejanay, a spokesperson for the U.S. attorney in Charlotte, referred questions about extradition requests to the Justice Department in D.C. Robinson told the WFAE last month that there had been no formal extradition request to return the woman to Mexico to face charges there. That was last month, though. Now maybe they've ramped up things and moved things forward. Maybe. But ain't this crazy, y'all? This is absolutely crazy. Okay, I want to play a little bit of this news clip for you guys, and then we're going to look at what the DOJ said in long form, their letter. Okay, it's a short letter. It's not massively big or anything, but we can at least take a listen or take a look at what they had to say. Maybe they go into more depth about this. I don't know. But all I got to say is, what the hell is going on here, y'all? This is trash. And I get it. The video doesn't show the actual final blow. It doesn't show her completely, being, I hate to say this word, or being snuffed out, etc. I know that, and that, so so they can look at that and play jazz around that and go, well, there's reasonable doubt because this, and this. But when we hear about this information and we know what was told, we know the stories behind everything. We know that Dejanay and the rest of the Cabo Six packed up and kicked rocks. They skipped town, avoiding these things. Now, I know those are all hearsay. Those are all just other eyewitnesses, other accounts by other eyewitnesses and other workers there, but still, that is all crazy foul play that happened here. And the fact that you have Mexican authorities still, from what I'm understanding from this article that we just saw, they are still working towards trying to get Dejanay apprehended and brought back here to America, back there to Mexico. Mexican authorities aren't sitting around and letting this lie at all. They're saying, bring her back. This is insane, y'all. This is absolutely insane. Hold on. AEM Tramp. Okay, thank you so much for the 10. This is also suspicious. One of Dejanay Jackson's or Winter Donovan's family members are a part of the legal system. If that is true, then that's shocking. And then I can definitely sit here and go, there's foul play or there's something going on. Who's out here trying to muck this mother lover up? Who's out here trying to cover up this thing? And I will say this too. No one's going to forget. No one's going to forget what happened to Shanquella. No one's going to forget who was involved in hurting and taking the life of Shanquella Robinson. So just because federal, DOJ is not pursuing any charges here in America, you don't think everybody and their mama know their names, faces, and whatnot? They're going to be ridiculed. They will be pariahs in their own hometown. So those people are screwed. I'm not sitting here saying that is justice well served. Hell no, it's not. But they're not going to be able to have a normal, good life like this. They deserve to be thrown in jail. Period. It's bad. And what's interesting is, I know there's people out here that are going to sit here and say all kinds of crazy stuff. There's always somebody out here saying like, oh, what's her name? The staunch, I forgot her name right now. But the staunch girl that's in trial right now. Somebody out here going to sit there and go, she's innocent. She's an angel. Nah. There are going to be people out here saying, oh, yeah, all the people, Alec Murdoch. No, we didn't deserve it. We should be free. Nah. Him guilty. And these 6 should be facing justice no matter what. Thank you, Letitia. Letitia Staunch. Okay. All right. There's plenty of people out here. And I don't know what world they grew up in and woke up in, but in reality, when you have something like that, when you have smoking gun evidence, when it shows in the original autopsy that she had severe damage to her body, that would say that she was battered, messed with, possibly unalived by these 6 or by a couple of the 6. I'm sorry, those people should be looking. They should be looking, or they should be facing justice right now. Period. Those are just my thoughts. Let's take a look at this really quick because we're going to get into that letter, and then we got the press conference as well. Hit that like button down below. Don't forget to do that. That would really, really mean a lot. Okay, that would really, really mean a lot. Send it past 300 likes. That would mean the world to me, okay? Hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Let's rock and roll.
Something that the nation is closely watching. Ken, thanks. And happening right now in the WREL Live Center, an update to a big case 6 months ago. The family of Shanquella Robinson and their attorney spoke today with federal officials and the FBI nearly 6 months after Shanquella died in Mexico while she was on vacation. This happened back in October. The FBI issued a statement today offering condolences to her family and presented the findings of the federal investigation into her death. They said they did a thorough investigation and found, based on the autopsy, the available evidence does not support a federal prosecution. They say they don't normally issue these kinds of public statements, but because of the circumstances, it was important to reassure the public that charges cannot be pursued. The North Carolina native back in October traveled to Mexico with 6 other friends.
Okay, we already know all that BS. Let me tell you something. They said this is not a normal thing that we usually do. We don't put out this kind of information like this. We don't put out statements like this. You want to know why? Because they knew for a fact that if they didn't do anything, that it would cause quite a stir out here in these streets. That there would be very, very mad and very upset people, mobs of people very upset about this. This is not great news. Sure, they said, we did our due diligence. We're so sorry to the family. Our condolences, but there's no foul, beyond a reasonable doubt. There's no foul play. There was foul play, guys. So of course they have to make a statement, because if they didn't say anything, then they look cowardice. Then they look like they were hiding behind the results or what they decided to do or not do, and just hide in their little caves. Because obviously they live in caves. But you know what I'm saying. This is ridiculous. This is mind-blowing, y'all. And this is very real. This actually really happened. Let's take a look at their statement, the DOJ. Let's take a look at this mother-loving BS, shall we? So for immediate release today, federal officials meet with the family of Shanquella Robinson. All right, Charlotte, North Carolina. Federal officials with the U.S. Attorney's Office in the Middle and Western Districts of North Carolina and the FBI met with the family of Miss Shanquella Robinson and family representatives today to offer their condolences and present the findings of the federal investigation into the demise of Miss Robinson. The investigation into the circumstances surrounding the demise of Miss Robinson has been a priority for federal prosecutors and the FBI. I don't know about all that, but okay. Say what you got and you say what you need to say, bro. The FBI has worked diligently to conduct a detailed and thorough investigation of the evidence available in this case. In coordination with Miss Robinson's family, and an autopsy was conducted in the U.S. by the medical examiner's office in Mecklenburg County. As in every case under consideration for federal prosecution, the government must prove beyond a reasonable doubt that a federal crime was committed based on the results of the autopsy and after a careful deliberation and review of the investigative materials by both U.S. attorneys' offices. Federal prosecutors informed Miss Robinson's family today that the available evidence does not support a federal prosecution. The demise of Miss Robinson has been incredibly difficult for her family and the community. As a matter of policy, federal officials generally do not issue public statements concerning the status of an investigation. Optics, by the way, guys, this is the reason why they're doing this, optics. However, given the circumstances of Miss Robinson's demise and the public concern surrounding this investigation, optics, it is important to reassure the public that experienced federal agents and seasoned prosecutors extensively reviewed the available evidence and have concluded that federal charges cannot be pursued. What in the hell? I'm just going to highlight that. As in any case, the government is prepared to review and examine new information related to the investigation should it become available. Signed, your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. So this is insane to me. Again, the part what they said, after extensively reviewing all the evidence available, they still have concluded that federal charges cannot be pursued. What in the hell is that? Now, from what I'm understanding right now, they're saying that when it comes to Mexico still has charges pressed. Okay? They still have charges pressed right now. And this really came from the United States Department of Justice. I'm having a hard time talking today. I don't know why. But ain't that some crazy ish, y'all? Now, somebody did ask, okay? Let me see if I can find that. Where did it go? There it is. David just said, couldn't Mexico still prosecute? Yeah, from my understanding, they still are. Desjardins, rumor has it it's Desjardins. A lot of us believe it's Desjardins. But Desjardins is still a person of interest. They still have a warrant out for her arrest in America. Mexico wants Desjardins so that they can do their due diligence, so that they can seek justice in Mexico. Now, I don't know if they've come into America or if they're trying to get Desjardins so that they can bring her back into Mexico. Last I checked, they are still trying to get her extradited to Mexico. Now, within this stuff, the family was trying to find charges that they can stick onto the Cabo 6 in America so that there would be nowhere they could run unless they went to some place that bypassed any extradition laws, other countries and such. Okay. But the family was really trying to press charges here as well. Because if they ain't going to go out to Mexico, we can at least get them here in America. But now America is sitting here saying, well, we don't see nothing. Sorry. Good luck. But we're going to write this because we care. Optics, guys. Optics. But we care. Optics. That's why we're writing this. And it's unprecedented that we write any kind of letter like this. Optics. Because we care about this black woman's life. Optics. We don't want everybody getting mad out here in these streets. Optics. Optics. So, I'm sorry, I'm mad. Okay? I'm mad. I'd be mad as hell right now. I'm heated. Okay? Woo! I'm mad. I am mad. Because the thing is if Mexico don't do a doggone thing, right? They don't bring in their people and get her and bring her back to Mexico. All she has to do, including the Cabo 6, if they ever press charges on the rest of the Cabo 6, all they have to do is avoid going to Mexico. That ain't hard to do, guys. You know what I'm saying? Their friends going, yeah, we going to turn up. We going to turn up, y'all. One of the Cabo 6 is like, yeah, where y'all going to? That sounds tight. I'm down with it. Where y'all going? Yeah, we going to Mexico. Yeah, I can't go there. That's it. That's it. They just have to avoid Mexico. They can go anywhere else on this planet. Anywhere else. And they'd be fine. Even Desjardins. But we got to see, and this is when, I'm sorry, but this is when the Robinson family, and I urge the Robinson family to start getting international up in this biznaye. Start learning that Spanish. Okay, donde están mis pantalones? That's all I know so far. Okay, lo siento, cabrón. Uno, dos, tres. I know a little bit so far. Cerveza. Okay, learn that language. Make sure you got an attorney that's bilingual, trilingual, quadrilingual, whatever. Mucho gusto, yes. Okay, I'm being real. And start just going in on the Mexican government. Bang. Get as many powers that be. Holla at your boy, Benjamin Crump. Ask him, if he speaks Spanish. Okay. Period. And start going after Mexico. Because if you're not going to get justice here in America, you can at least get justice there. They got the ball moving a little bit. They pushed the needle a tiny bit. Okay? A tiny bit. But that's what we need to have happen here. Period. Start a dialogue with Mexico. And see if you can get that girl extradited to Mexico. Oh, man. Okay, Bragg, thank you so much for the 10. So they can jump through hoops to try and get the orange man on a thin documents case. Yeah. But can't get the unaliver of a brown woman. Got it. Yeah. That's what it looks like. I mean, unless, Dejanay, paid some money to adult actress to keep her mouth shut, and they got paperwork to show that, maybe they can get her. Or if she ain't paying her taxes, maybe they can get her. You know what I'm saying? But outside of that, when all roads, all signs, neon signs are pointing down muerte, foul play, for some odd reason, the DOJ, FBI, and all them looked at it and said, "No, though, that I don't think it's foul play." Sorry to give you guys that information, but there you go. Our hearts go to the fam. Do you think that this makes this family happy? Like I said, I hope to God this family finds nothing but patience and peace in their hearts, and understand that just because this door is closed does not mean that there's another one that's been cracked open. Do not give up. Justice is coming. It just may not be served in the way that you want to serve it. There are other ways, and I hope that the family does not give up. Let me show you guys this a little bit. Let me show you guys a little bit of this. My heart breaks for the family because they deserve better than this. Shanquella deserves better than this. Any person that loses their life in this type of way, in this fashion, overseas, doesn't matter where it is, should be getting some sort of justice, not a letter just saying, "Yeah, we're sorry, DOJ." Good luck to you, though. Good luck on your journey on finding justice. You can't get it here, though. Signed, DOJ. It's trash. It's trash. I'm going to play this. Let's rock and roll. Hit the number one. Make sure you guys can hear this. I'm not playing the whole thing, but I wanted to play a good chunk of it. So we are going to look at a chunk. All right. And hey, I really do appreciate all y'all for being here. It really does mean a lot. This was very impromptu, like it always is. But please hit that like button down below. And if you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe button. We talk about everything on this channel. All right. So please be sure to hit that subscribe button down below. And I got another piece of information to tell you guys after we watch this too. Some cool information, okay, for tomorrow morning show. All right, let's rock and roll. Come on.
All right, everyone ready? Great afternoon. We want to take this opportunity to welcome all of the Charlotte local news media this afternoon to Little Rock AME Zion Church. Thank you for taking
This is very low.
robbery to come and join this family and attorney Sue Ann Robinson. And on behalf of Pastor Walker, well, the family, we say thank you to Pastor Walker and the Little Rock AME Zion Church for opening up your doors and allowing this to take place this afternoon. I am Mario Black, founder of Million Youth March of Charlotte and Salisbury. And we're going to go ahead and get started with this afternoon. I'm going to bring up attorney Sue Ann Robinson.
Hey, everybody. Thank you again. Thank you, Mario. Thank you for having us, Pastor. We really, truly appreciate it. We're here today. Obviously, everyone knows that the FBI has released their statement indicating that they don't plan on filing any charges after investigating Shanquella's case. So we're here today. We're disappointed, but we're not deterred. It's not something that's necessarily unexpected in the sense that Black and brown people always have to carve their own path to justice. Today,
Real quick, guys, this is as loud as I can get it. This thing is very, very low. Okay. I turned this mug all the way up. This is as loud as it gets. Okay. Sorry, guys. But she sounds very young. Her voice is very young sounding. Let's go.
just sitting in the meeting with the family, listening to what we were being advised and listening to what the so-called investigation was revealing, I thought back to Miss Wanda, Ahmad's mother, who had to take her case to the state attorney's office and had to beg for charges to be pressed in the death of her son. And I remembered Sandra Bland's mother, who had to do the same thing when they told us all that an investigation revealed that her cause of death was suicide. And I think most about in Shanquella's case, because her attack was captured on video, and now we're being told that there isn't going to be an arrest, or there aren't going to be any charges brought. It reminds me of George Floyd and how we were told that while we were watching with our own eyes, Derek Chauvin putting his knee on his neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds, we were being told that he was having a heart attack and that he was suffering from a drug overdose. So while we're here disappointed, we're not deterred. We're going to continue to press on. We're going to continue to demand that there's a high level of diplomatic intervention in this case, that if the U.S. authorities are now again telling us, oh, well, it's back on Mexico because Mexican authorities have to do something, we don't have a problem with that. We know that we have to carve our own path to justice, and we've been doing that from the very beginning. Mrs. Robinson has demonstrated tremendous strength, and I talk about it all the time, as well as Paula, her sister, having to bury a child, grieve for a child, get through all of that stuff, and then fight for justice for your child at the same time. And then being advised today, well, despite there being a video showing a vicious and brutal attack of your child while she's naked and obviously not fighting back, that there is nothing that can be done in terms of charges being filed by the FBI, that you have to seek your redress and your justice.
Trying to see if I can turn on the subtitles here real quick for you guys. But it looks like it's not available, unfortunately, guys. As it's trying to figure its thing out. Yeah, the audio is loud as it can get, guys. It just lost its signal or something. Hold on.
Somewhere else.
There we go.
And that's fine. Mrs. Robinson, again, is obviously disappointed, as is all the family at the meeting today. But we're not deterred. We're still going to be marching. We're still going to rally in D.C. on May 19th, because it shouldn't be that in this country that Black women, Black and brown victims of crime have to do this every time they are victims of crimes. But it is unfortunately what it is. And again, any discrepancies or any issues with respect to Mexican autopsy versus the autopsy conducted by the FBI, all of those things are going to be a result of a delay. And now we're witnessing the result of a delay, which is why there was always a concern, which is why I always say this is the people's case. This is the people's movement that said, hey, there's no reason why a Black woman should go on vacation with her friends, be returned to her family in a box, and nothing be done for 5 months, that the FBI be permitted to sit on their hands, that they be permitted to say, we're working, because justice delayed can be justice denied. We all know that and have seen it time and time again. And so that's why I say, on behalf of the family, again, we're very disappointed, very deeply disappointed. But we're not deterred, because it's something that we've seen before, and we know that we have to carve our own path to justice. Ms. Robinson knew that when she asked me to go on a fact-finding mission to Mexico, that we were obviously in a state of affairs where there's two different justice systems in America. And we know that in ours, we have to fight for our justice. We have to rally for our justice. We have to beg for the same constitutional rights. And Shanquella is doing that even in death. Even in death, she's having to fight for her rights as a U.S. citizen, as a victim of a crime. The U.S. authorities have to understand and have to know that even if for them it's not about Shanquella, that United States citizens cannot go to Mexico, commit a crime that we all saw on a video, and then come back to America and say, we're on base, we're safe, we're not going to be charged with a crime. That cannot be the message that the U.S. authorities want to send. So again, discrepancies caused, or discrepancies in the autopsy results between Mexican authorities that we've all been discussing, unfortunately, and not being discussed by the right individuals, have all been caused by delays. If it had been taken serious from the very beginning, if the internet and the people and social media didn't have to create the movement behind the case, and the authorities would have gotten involved the minute the video surfaced, there wouldn't have been a delay. There would have been immediate statements taken from the individuals involved. There would have been time to take an immediate autopsy of the body before it was embalmed. All of those things would have been done, but because
Timing.
it was the death of a young, Black, beautiful, brilliant, educated woman who was
Successful.
on vacation, justice was delayed. There was no investigation done. It was not taken seriously until the people had to say, hey, we're not going to accept that this is just what it is. This can't be just what it is. We see with our own eyes an attack, an assault, a crime happening, and nothing's being done. That came from you all. That came from the people saying, we demand answers. And today we actually ended up with way more questions than answers. And so that's why I'm determined and fully aware, and the team, Ben Crump, Tamika Mallory, Until Freedom, Mario Black, all of us, we stand with this family, and we're going to stand with this family till the very end. And we're going to be in Washington, and we're going to rally, because we understand, unfortunately, what the job is, what the work is, and that we have to carve our own path to justice in these cases. And we've seen it time and time again. And I've said it in other press conferences. I would like to be put out of this line of business. I don't want to be here on behalf of another beautiful Black family begging for dignity and respect and basic constitutional rights. I don't want to be doing those things. But that is what it is right now. We have two separate justice systems, where one is, if you're a victim of a crime and you look a certain way, it's going to be covered by the media. It's going to be resolved in a certain way. And then we have our cases where we have to have press conferences and rallies, and we have to beg the government to intervene. And that's not okay. And that's why it's the most important work of our time. And so,
Real quick, I just want to pause there because she's saying some real stuff, and her rant is crucial. And the thing is what's frustrating is, as soon as a person of color says something that is actually true out here, There are certain demographics, there are certain corners of the world that get very upset about hearing these harsh realities of the world. If it's not aesthetically pleasing to the eye, if it's not, there have been things like dead white girl, the dead white girl thing, or the missing white girl thing, then the world doesn't have any interest in it. And the only reason why, she even said it herself, the only reason why Shanquella even was thrust out into the limelight of true crime stories and all that, which even other true crimers didn't even talk about this really at all, which was kind of surprising in my personal opinion. But, I digress. That's the only reason why this story was thrust out was because of the people talking about this, tweeting it all over Black Twitter, tweeting it beyond Black Twitter, getting the word out there. And I also will say this too, without that viral video, or without that video going viral, I don't think it would have pushed out even more, because it would have just been another story. We have plenty of stories where they have just been written in articles. No videos, no nothing. You just hear about a 12-year-old Black girl gone missing, so on and so forth. And it's just a story. It's like a paragraph that big, and then people move on. Because there's still obsessing over I hate to say it, guys, but it is the truth. The missing white girl thing, the missing white girl syndrome, which is what Christina just said. It's very true. It is a real thing. And if you don't think it's real, then you're living in a delusional world. It is a real thing, okay? It is a real thing. And yes, the audio is as loud as it can get. I'm going to see if I can find another version, or maybe from another angle, but she is saying something that is incredibly crucial, incredibly real, and it is a harsh reality of this world. And until we actually start giving a damn about everybody, we are going to have other Shanquellas out here, other Shanquella stories out here that are just going to fly under the radar. And I'm only one person. I can only cover so much in one day. I can only cover so much in a year, so much in a week. There are other content creators that are doing really great jobs at trying to keep everything balanced and tell as many stories as they can, both in the realm of the missing white girl syndrome world, and telling stories of people of color that are also dealing with the same type of injustices out here in these streets. It is very hard to balance those things. But let's talk about this. She even says this too. It's all about timing. Think about it. Thank God people picked this up and started giving a damn. Unfortunately, the timing didn't work out. If she had the proper autopsy when she came back, maybe they would have been able to rule out reasonable doubt. Or, reasonable doubt would have been ruled out. They would have said foul play is going on here, and the evidence is shown as such. But they didn't do that until after the fact. They didn't prove that until after the fact. It's all about timing. Yes, her name's out here. We are seeing her face. We are saying her name, all that. But at the same doggone time, a lot of times when somebody dies who is a person of color, it always seems to be last minute. Oh, damn, it's too late. We can't do that because that person's already buried. Or we got to exhume, or we have already done the embalming of the body, so we can't really properly do an autopsy and get true results of what actually happened to her, so that we could look at this and see, oh, then maybe there is foul play here. And then again, maybe there's not. But a lot of this has to do, unfortunately, a lot of this has to do with timing. And damn it, I wish timing was a little bit different for a lot of these other cases, because we hear all these other stories, y'all. Plenty of other stories of people out here getting trying to pursue justice for their kids. And I will say this too. There are families out here as well of other white kids as well that are struggling, that are fighting really hard to even get their story out there as well. That is true too. I'm not sitting here saying that every single time a white person goes missing, that is just like, John Smith is missing and everybody's like, oh my God. Oh, no. It still takes a lot of work to get those stories out. But it's interesting how they will dissect. It'll get to the point of these crazy, scandalous titles. They'll know everything about that person, all the way down to what color shorts that they like to wear, when they work out or something like that. It's insane, guys. But when we try to get just a little bit of justice, let me see if this is a better one. Whenever we try to get a little bit of justice, it always seems to be some BS about timing and the lack of it. Always has to be done in a timely fashion, and we always seem to miss the deadlines when it really, really matters, and it's frustrating. I don't know if this one's any better, but I'm going to play a tiny bit more of this, okay? But this is a truth, guys, and some of y'all get upset about this, but it's a harsh truth. It is a real truth out here, guys. I just wish some of y'all wouldn't be so stubborn and just see what really is going on out here in these streets. There are plenty of unsolved stories, unsolved cases of Black women, of Black people of color, that are still ongoing, like they've turned into urban legends, for crying out loud. Plenty of them. None of them have been solved because of timing, or because of the corruption that's going on in the towns in which that crime took place. It's crazy, but it's true. Let me play a little bit more of this. Let's see how this one is, okay? Hold on, let me lower that.
We're advised today that the U.S. authorities.
It is the same sound. The sound is just trash, guys. I'm just giving y'all a fair heads up. Let me just put it back to where we were.
Didn't begin an investigation until after.
Let me just go back to this.
So we're disappointed. We're not deterred. We're pressing on. We absolutely will keep you guys updated on everything that we're doing, but we're definitely pushing toward the 200th day to be in DC. We hope that everyone can join us, because the message cannot be that U.S. citizens can go overseas and commit crimes against other U.S. citizens and come back and say that they're on base, that they're safe, that they're not going to be arrested, that there's going to be such a delay in the investigation that the evidence will have time to dissipate and they'll have time to change their stories or work on the evidence. That can't be the message, because this is the land of the free and the home of the brave, and we have U.S. constitutional rights, and there's victims' rights, and we're going to fight for that. We're going to fight for that, whether the victim of the crime is Shanquella or whether it's any Black woman. We're going to fight for that because it's deserved. It's our right as U.S. citizens. So I'll have, do you want to speak? Okay. So I can take questions.
Okay, that's enough. But as you can see, she's upset about this. She's very disgruntled about this information. And real quick, hold up. Somebody came in hot. Let me just say this really quick. Storm, I wasn't knocking any of them. I wasn't talking about any of these people at all. I'm actually surprised that Murad is even still around. I thought he left. I thought he stepped off, but all of them have done a fantastic job. I'm not knocking I'm not knocking these specific content creators. Because yes, Tissa Tells, Cynthia G, Gossip Girl, Annie Elise as well have gone out of their way to talk and put her name in their mouths, telling the story of Shanquella. I'm not knocking them. I just know that there's a lot of other content creators that have not really done any stories about this at all. Zero. And they have very prominent platforms as well. It's just something surprising, especially when it's something like this, where it is unjustified stuff that is happening. I'm like, man, I just wish more content creators, okay, would talk about these stories. This one became more mainstream because of all the people that talked about this. But there were certain corners of the world, certain corners of the YouTube content world that I feel like if they helped with telling the story, I think it would have been helpful. Okay. I wish it would. It was just like, man, I wish. I'm not knocking any of the content creators that have. In fact, I go, thank you. Like, I will be honest, and I'm not trying to say this in a mean way at all. I was shocked when I saw Annie Elise talk about it. I was shocked. I was absolutely shocked. And I applauded her. I was in my head, I gave her a virtual high five. I'm like, damn right, girl. She even did some lives about it too. I remember. It's like, dang, okay, girl. She's telling the story too. Damn right. Let's get justice for this girl and for her family. But there are other content creators that haven't really talked about it at all, or any stories that have to do with, I'm sorry to say it, but some channels have not covered any stories of people of color going missing. It's just strange. It's just strange. And in my head, I'm like, hey, I don't care if it's 3 people that watch this or if there's 3 million people that watch this video. What I care about is getting the story out there so that people know what's going on. And I feel like everybody else who makes content like this and actually feel some type of way about it should talk about it. You know, I get it. You know, this is the Brian Koberger stories, the Idaho 4 stuff. Yeah, everybody and their mama clicks on that all the live long day. Don't get me wrong. I get it. Shoot, I have I make content about that stuff too. I know people will watch it, but every once in a while, okay, every once in a while, we need to start putting out content that's bringing awareness to the stories and injustices like this one. I think we could take 30 minutes out of our day, an hour out of our day, 5 minutes out of our day just to do that really, really quick. That's it. And trust me, there are days I don't want to talk about anything. There are days I don't want to come onto the show at all or do a show, but the news still comes out. The news still comes in. The information still pops off. I stopped everything that I was doing today so I can give you guys this content live instead of waiting tomorrow, because this case, at least to me, matters. It spoke to me hard. This matters to me. But like I said, if there were other content creators out here and we were more reaching across racial lines, I think that would help so much. So much, because then it comes out as a universal front, saying that we are talking about every person that we can talk about, that we have time to talk about. If they're Asian, Black, white, Indian, Mexican, it doesn't matter. Whatever color under the rainbow, and they're missing, or there's something going on, we're talking about those things. I wish we did that more. I wish this was a viral topic long time ago. Thousands of people giving a damn when this went down, when the bad went down with Shanquella. Because maybe we'd be in a completely different place right now. But it doesn't only start with me. It starts with everybody else out here as well that are also making content talking about, shoot, man. Let me just say this really quick, okay? And don't get me wrong, I understand the hustle, okay? YouTube is tough out here, okay? The YouTube streets are hard, all right? You don't think I'd like to have thousands of people tuning into my show every day? Man, that's dope. And I wish there would be more, because then it gets the word out even more on every subject matter. But one thing I will say, and it does blow my mind, when you go to check out somebody's channel and all their channel is one subject matter, one true crime story and one true crime story alone. And it just is that. Since the dawn of that crime being happened, you get what I'm saying? There's no variety. There's no change in it. It's just the same BS. You see the same face, same thumbnail for 30 videos. Don't get me wrong. I get it. I get the hustle. I'm sure it makes your pockets very, very fat. But there are other stories out here, like Shanquella's story, that could be told. Takes you just a little bit, y'all, to just go on and just do a live or do a 5-minute video to just at least to bring awareness to that story on your platform to a brand new set of ears that may not know anything about that person. And let me say this too. It doesn't have to be, I got to do a black person, missing person story. I got to find somebody who's black, who's missing. No, just a different story, y'all. Damn. There are still men and women and children that are still missing out here to this day. For example, Madeline Kingsbury. She's still lost. She is still vanished. Last I checked. Okay, as of this morning, she was still being searched right now. But for some odd reason, everyone's stuck on this one topic. And I'm like, how many times can you fry this egg? I'm being real. How many times can you fry this mother-loving egg before it becomes burnt to a crisp? Sorry for my rant. I just had to say that because I'm like, man, there's so many stories. Yes. Daniel Robinson. That's something I am working on right now as we speak. Daniel Robinson. There. Daniel Robinson, for example. Now I know that's a couple years old. That's a year or so old now. But at the same time, it's still a story that needs to be put out there and people need to know about it. Like I said, if we all of us content creators, all of us that do the true crimes, the pop culture stuff, if we all just kind of reached across racial lines sometimes and joined forces, I think there's a lot. I think there's a lot of stories and a lot of coverage and a lot of families that could really appreciate that fast track towards justice. And we're seeing right now, without us all standing together and screaming out Shanquella's name in unison, she would have just been an urban story. She would have. Also, I will say this too, the NC Beat as well. Let's not forget the NC Beat, because he was the one who was really putting that stuff out. More information, the video, etc. He was really working closely with the Robinson family. But if we treated everything like it was a mainstream story, man, we wouldn't be sitting here going, oh, you know, Kendrick Johnson, oh, he's still a story that hasn't been figured out. You know, there's so many other stories like Shanquella, et cetera, that are still, Daniel Robinson, that are still not figured out. Daniel Robinson's father is still out there trying to find his son. Crowd-funded, he is crowd-funded, basically. His financials are depleted because he's doing everything he can to find his son. You think that they're doing press conferences every week talking about Daniel Robinson? No. But imagine if back in the day, because he was on the show back in the day, Daniel Robinson's father was, when he first initially went missing. And we had a good conversation. And there were some other content creators that were talking about it too, which was really appreciated, of course. But imagine if everyone was talking about it more. Maybe it'd be a different situation. Let me see this really quick. Vicky Kaysen, Pascal, you have a talent to unite people. Oh, thank you. You handle racial issues, realizing not all white people are the devil. Most agree with everything you are saying. Yeah, I mean, no, I don't think that. Yeah, no. I love all people. I love everyone equally. We are all beautiful, unique individuals. And when we go missing, that matters. And when we go missing, it matters. It should matter to all of us. Okay? But it is tough sometimes to talk about racial issues or things that are a full-on reality. Okay? It is tough. Because I know some people get turned off by those kind of things. But it is a real thing. The missing white girl syndrome is a real thing. It really, really is. Or it has to be done in such a scandalous, mind-blowing way to be attached to that person's name, which causes them to be thrust into the limelight so that everyone starts to look into it and starts to care. It's either one of those things. And it sucks. Because and there's a lot of stories out here of a lot of people missing. A lot. Like I said, if we all came together and did something about it, I think things would be different. Things would definitely be different. Timing would not be the reason why they didn't get justice in America for what really happened. The injustice that actually happened to Shanquella. So, yeah, Jelani Day. You know, there's a lot of stories that are still, there's a lot of cases that are still wide open that have not been figured out, that have not been solved yet, where people are still trying to figure out what the heck is happening. Or they've been kind of the cold cases now, all because of timing. And I'd hate to see this story become, this case, Shanquella's case, become just a cold case. This is the reason why I say this particular lawyer, hopefully she is bilingual. Hopefully she knows a little Espanol. I hope that they are just going to start looking towards Mexico so that they can get Dejanay and hopefully the rest of the Cabo Six down to Mexico and get their asses hit with so many charges. That's what I'm hoping for. Because this was very disappointing. And this family deserves justice just as much as anyone else. It's frustrating, guys. It's very, very frustrating. My heart hurts on this one because now it's a matter of them being proactive, even more proactive. And I will say this, it ain't over yet. And if they are watching this show, the family, I just want them to know it ain't over yet. It really isn't. This door closed, but another one is still cracked open. And they just need to start getting super proactive. Okay? Ain't that something, y'all? Ain't that something? So anyway, guys, sorry about that. So yes, it's not over yet. It ain't over yet. I'm just a little disappointed in our country right now. Or not in our country. I'm just disappointed in the DOJ because I feel that was just, I don't know, lazy investigative work. That's just what I think. I will say it. I think it's lazy. And we got a young woman that's not getting the justice that she deserves. I think that if this was a different situation, they would have been on that and they would have said, we found weird things and all this stuff. You know what I mean? This would be a totally different conversation. Trust and believe. And unfortunately, it is not that situation right now. And it's all because of timing. Ain't that about to be? Anyway, guys. I need to go shake this off. All right. But I appreciate you guys all for being here. It really does mean a lot. Okay. It really, really does. I appreciate you guys just listening. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes people don't like to hear these kind of realities, these kind of perspectives. But these perspectives are real. And they deserve to be heard just as much as anyone else's perspectives. I hope to God that this family gets justice. They're just going to have to do it internationally. And I hope that the people that surround Shanquella's family do not give up hope as well. I hope this emboldens them even more. This lights a fire under their ass and gets them to realize that they cannot take no for an answer. Because I refuse to take no for an answer. Not when it comes to this. Not when we see what really went down. When we know the truth. So we going to Mexico, guys. And hopefully we'll kick some ass. Anyway, guys, I appreciate all y'all for being here. Hit that like button down below. Hit that like button down below. That would really, really mean a lot. Do not forget to hit that subscribe button. Of course, hit that join button as well. Switch it to all to make sure you get every single upload that I put out there, or live, because I do go live randomly. All right. I forgot. Oh my gosh. One more thing before you guys go all the way. I got some information here too, just before you guys head off completely. Tomorrow morning, I got my sister coming onto the show with me. We are going to be talking about whatever we got to talk about tomorrow morning. She will be with me at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. We got some really fun, exciting information to give you guys, which I'm very excited about. But my sister is really, really awesome. And yeah, so be sure to tune in tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. She will be on and we will be having a good time chopping it up about whatever it is. And actually, my goal is to try to keep tomorrow morning show light. I think we need that. So it might just be something more on the lines of, some more pop culture stuff that we can just have some fun, have some laughs, enjoy a Thursday without all this doom and gloom, okay? Unless something pops off, which I hope to the sweet baby Jesus, nothing pops off. Oh, I hope nothing else pops off. We need a little bit of a break, okay? So tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, me and my sister are going to be rocking the house, having a good time. So hopefully you guys tune in and be a part of it. And we got a cool announcement tomorrow. Some big surprises for you guys, which I'm very excited about. Anyway, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Have a great rest of your day. This is the Pascal Show. Oh, shoot. Be good to yourselves. Whoa, I almost forgot. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll see you guys in the next show. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.